Hello comic book fans, here's Earl Grey. Today I want to talk about two classic Batman books, one more classic than the other, and that has to be The Killing Joke, written by Alan Moore and drawn by Brian Bolland, of course. And the second one is The Black Mirror Trade, written by Scott Snyder, drawn by Jock and Francesco Francavilla. And even though these are amazing books, especially the deluxe Killing Joke here with the shiny violet foil and stuff, I don't want to talk about these versions, but about the black and white Batman Noir versions, which are a bit larger in format and a lot thicker, and that's because of the perfect paper stock in these books, and they are, generally speaking, perfect books, even though the binding maybe is a bit tight. It's still soon binding. Okay. Yeah, no big reasons for complaint here, I think. But at first I want to talk about The Killing Joke. And right by the first glance on the cover you see, in case you didn't know, that Brian Bolland's art is incredibly detailed. And to really honor that, you have to have in mind that this cover drawing is actually just a part of this panel in immense magnification. But the magnification didn't hurt the impression at all. And all these cross-hatching here serves for enough plasticity, which is so typical for Brian Bolland's art, I think, so that all these color effects here, all the hues and airbrushy effects here, aren't really necessary. I never questioned the coloring in The Killing Joke, to be honest. But now I see that it's really not necessary. For an instance, look at the intro sequence where Jim Gordon enters Arkham Asylum. It looks almost funny how Harvey Dent, Two-Face, looks out of his prison cell with his violet half face and the green hair and stuff. And if you see it here in the black and white version, it's grim and gritty right from the start. Nothing cute, nothing funny. Just the dark tale. A dark tale in an asylum where freaks meet, and that includes, of course, Batman. Somewhere we have here first real entrance of the Joker here, and keep that black and white version in mind. And here's the colored one. And to rest my case, maybe that classic scene where Barbara Gordon gets shot in the spine. And let's see if I find it here real quick. Yeah. It has so much more impact for me seeing this stuff in black and white. And all the madness that follows with Jim Gordon, that leather necklace pushed around by that little henchman hench kids of the Joker. Here's one of my favorite panels, a small one but a cool one. The Joker gazing at his own reflection in the water. But I'm hard pressed to figure out really what's my favorite panel here, because is this my favorite panel? Or is this my favorite panel with the Joker breaking through the mirror? Or is it one of all these incredible, poignant depictions of the Joker? Maybe the best drawings of the Joker, when, at least when it comes to show the different facets of his psychopathic character. Wonderful. Quite an achievement what Alan Moore and Bolland did with this pretty short one-shot, not just delivering some kind of origin, but according to Grant Morrison and some others, here also a possible, at least, ending of Joker's life, because at least Grant Morrison says here the Batman kills the Joker, hence the killing joke. I think if this is really so, it's up for discussion, but it would be nice to know that the Joker sometimes would be killed, because I'm totally against death sentence, and so, but in a comic book world where the arch villains always get free and faster than you can bring them back, it's hard to say. Wouldn't it be the more logic version to kill them all once and for all? Yeah. Maybe let us talk about the bonus section here. And it's a thick bonus section here. All bonus. There are two short comics from Brian Bolland. One of them is written by himself, but they are not so special. But very special is this section with covers, black and white covers, or covers in black and white version from Brian Bolland. Of course, not the Killing Joke ones, only the Killing Joke ones, but a great variety of different titles, detective comics and whatnot. This part of the book is, I think, enough reason for you bat aficionados out there to buy this book. Yeah, Mr. Bolland is surely one master of the bat character. Quite wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, but I wanted to show you another one. The Black Mirror, written by Scott Snyder. It's hard to compare it with The Killing Joke, but I try it nevertheless. It's way more bang for your buck. It costs just a bit more than The Killing Joke, and here you get 4 stories, actually intertwined stories. Even though it's not so outstanding like The Killing Joke. But you got great depictions of the Batman, who looks great in black and white here, especially the part of the society, the Sotheby's for lost, in quotes, police evidence. That's the Black Mirror that were lasted over 3 issues. All in all, this book contains 11 issues. And this first part was drawn by Jock and has some amazing depictions. I mean, the thing where Jock excels most, in my opinion, is his poignant portraits, when he draws people just with some heavy brush strokes. So and Jock and Francesco Francavilla have very distinct art styles, but both a minimalistic approach. They seem to prefer to draw less than draw too much. And maybe some of you will miss some drawings in the background here. The background most of the time stays empty, and maybe that some of you disturbs, some of you annoys this. I think the characters in the foreground are looking this way a bit better if there's nothing to distract from the action in the foreground. And as to black and white, here you have the Bat and one villain, or one ex-villain, you have to say. And I show you, for comparison, the colored version. Yeah. So, for me it's night and day. I like the black and white here much better. Even though I have to say, sometimes the colors are something I miss in the black and white book. Because if you look at Francesco Francavilla's coloring, he has one quite simple but very effective way of coloring his panels with bright primary and secondary colors, which is immensely effective, I think. And so when you see the stuff here in the black and white version, where's Francesco? Here's Francesco Francavilla. It has still, it has also an appeal, but of a different kind. So I'm hard pressed to decide which version I like better. I think it changes with my mood of the day and maybe from panel to panel or page to page. Both versions have their ups and downs. I mean, out of the question is that this black and white version, just story-wise, is more fitting for a real evil story. This is the second story around James Gordon, who appears out of nowhere and tries to convince his daddy, Jim Gordon, that he's healthy, or that he tries to stay healthy right now. And maybe you can guess where this goes. Yeah. you see some of the stuff looks really pretty in black and white as well. Here in black and white. So, and here in color. But even sometimes with the parts drawn by Jock, the color adds really something significantly to the story. And look, for instance, at this cover here, this body, where the bat is bound to a chair. Tied to a chair, and when you see this in black and white, some of this layer of information and appeal is gone. Of course, black and white is more abstract, simply, and on the on the other side you see this. There I prefer the black and white version. So, black and white is more abstract, and there is one cover. That's, by the way, here the story arc around one killer whale that was found in the lobby of a bank. And the fourth story was, surprise, surprise, has something to do with the Joker. And all these four stories together add up to the whole Black Mirror trade. So what I wanted to show you was this interesting abstract cover. Here it is. So I don't know what you see here, but of course, the Batman, which is here Dick Grayson, not Bruce Wayne, of course, in the whole story. And he jumps maybe off of a jumping board at a swimming pool. And that fits perfectly to a narrative in the story where Dick remembers one of his circus colleagues who jumps off a board 20 meters or so in a small tub of water, and that serves as a metaphor in the story. The colored version goes totally in another way, or makes it clear that this is a boat, a ship, which I would never have thought of if I just knew the black and white version. And that's interesting, I think. So maybe to bring this video to an end, I should just show you some random pages from Jock here, and you can build your own opinion. I never regret for 1 second the purchase of this book, even though it's a bit pricey, I must say. But it's totally worth it. And here's some pages from Francesco Francavilla in black and white glory. So that's enough for today, I think, with The Killing Joke and The Black Mirror and Black and White Glory. Thanks for listening and watching. Goodbye.